Hi, my name is Dual Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on our pine shaving bin. So this is the bin that we have that has these wood shavings in it that are made of pine, and they are very thin. They're very small shavings, and I want to give you an update since it's been about 18 days since our last update, and while the last time the worms had not really moved into the system itself, I felt. So I'm hoping that this time they've kind of moved down into that food. Hopefully they've consumed some of it or all of it. If they do, we have more food ready to go. If not, we'll let it sit for a little bit longer. So the other thing I want to talk about is I've had this fruit fly issue all through my basement. And for some reason, I've noticed this bin in particular has not been affected by it. Now, I've noticed with my other systems as well that ones that typically have cocoa coir and hardwood pellets in it don't seem to have the same issues as the one that has the cardboard in it. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if it's because maybe it's maybe a little bit more dense, the material, it's harder for them to dig through, or if there's something maybe they don't like about pine or hardwood. But I have noticed that they are not gravitating towards those systems compared to my cardboard systems where they tended to infiltrate and just take over. So it is under control for the most part. We're still giving it a little bit more time before updates on my other systems, but this system is ready to go, and let's go and take a look and see how it's doing. All right, so here's our system. My last update, I have a piece of tape here on the front that I'm just going to take off here to show you, was 11/18. Today is February 5th, so I'll put a piece of tape on here when I'm done saying that date. And let's take this off and take a look and see how it's doing. So, as you can see on here, it looks like the moisture is sort of soaking in here on this cardboard a little bit, but it's doing okay. Oh, I do see a fruit fly in here. That's the first one I've seen. I've flipped this over multiple times to just check on it, but that's the first one I've seen in here. So we'll see. Maybe we have to add some more stuff to this as well. I'm going to move this off to the side, along with these pieces of cardboard here. But as I said, I've only really seen them on the cardboard. It's really interesting. It was on the cardboard, but I didn't see it on the plastic or the shavings here. So we'll dig in and we'll see if any of them are on the shavings. So let me get my glove on and let's go here. So first off, yes, big worm right on top here. This one doesn't look very healthy, but let me get it focused there. If it will. But it doesn't look very healthy on the top right there. But then again, what matters is if they're digging in or not. So, handful right here. Some of the bigger worms seem to be on the top here. I don't know if that's a sign here. We're just going to kind of move this off to the side. Try not to move it on you. Let's just dig down here and take a look. I am seeing worms down in here in the food area, which is a good sign, and they look pretty healthy. This area does feel pretty moist, although there could be definitely more moisture in here. Oh, look at that nice big handful right there. They look very healthy. So it looks like they are starting to dig in here and get down into this food. I mean, here's a piece of food right there. It looks like that's a piece of banana or something. Let's just go down a little bit further here and just dig in a little bit more. The material here is plenty moist, I think. I'm seeing some smaller worms, which is a good sign. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me see if I can turn up the lighting just a little bit more. There we go. But there's some tiny worms in here that look like... I'm going to pull this one out. There we go. So if it'll focus on my hand, if it'll focus. But there's a worm here that looks... It's a much more smaller worm, which is a good sign. I'm not seeing, let me just push that back down, too much food in here though. Now I actually have food that's already ground up. It is not frozen, but it was in the fridge. It's very fresh food. There should be no bugs in it because of the material that was used. I actually there smells like a little bit of lemon in here. But I have, and I've shown this before, this is ground up through my juicer. I just put it through, I made juice today. And this is a lot of food, but it's all very ground up. So primarily, it's, if I can get this out of here, it's carrot, celery. There is a little bit of citrus in here with some lemon. And then there is some apple. And that's it. So it's a very simple juice to make. I like my juices. I haven't been doing it very frequently lately. But I've been trying to get back into it again. So this is something that's really great for bins. especially since it's already ground up, it's already chopped up into small little pieces. If I can get all this out here. And this is just the leftover pulp that comes out. So this is all dried out. It's not going to be very moist, so I will need to add moisture to it. And you can tell there's a lot in here, but this is going to shrink down, so we're going to actually bury this underneath here. If I can get it underneath. Just pushing it underneath some of the other material that's here. And I'm going to sprinkle over some of my crushed eggshell here, because I do feel that it needs some grit here, probably just a little bit. I don't know how much grit's in here. So we're going to just put some of this on. And just so you know, there are a couple people that have mentioned that I have coffee grounds and that's a grit. Coffee grounds are not a grit. They are a fruit or vegetable type material, depending on the way you want to look at it. But they are more like this material. They get consumed. Grit doesn't get consumed. It goes through a worm maybe because they ingest some of these little pieces, but it's not a grit material really. It breaks down, it gets digested, so it is not a grit. Now I'm going to put some moisture in here because this is very dry. Remember, I squeezed out all the moisture when I went this through the juicer. So there's no more moisture left in here. So I'm going to add moisture to it. And I know a lot of people have been saying, why am I adding moisture and not checking? Well, water runs downhill. So I water at the top, it's going to run down into the bin. I've never seen water pool at the top of my bins, but I have seen it pool at the bottom. So that's why I always add on top. And it's a little bit dry in some areas here, but that's okay. We're just going to kind of fold this back over like this. Let's just make sure there's no food on top here. There might be a banana peel or two that I need to poke back down. So as I said, though, there really hasn't been just trying to poke some of these other pieces of food down. I haven't not had the infestation that I've had in the other systems here. And I'm just going to spray off my glove here just to kind of clean it off. And I do think that part of it is this wood material. I don't think it's nearly as nice to the fruit flies and their delicate bodies as cardboard is, which is very soft. Or, you know, even the cocoa coir, or coir, I think it's called. I think it's coir. I've found that also tends to not have too many fruit flies. I think part of it is that they have trouble pushing through it. So that material, and I think the worms might be having some trouble too, which is why I'm seeing so many that are still like near the surface and not really dug down in. But as this breaks down, it should get better and better. So we'll see. But it's good sign to see that the food is pretty much gone. I'm going to put back on top here our piece of plastic. Well, not plastic. This is cardboard, but it's got that wax coating on it, which I sort of like to kind of keep everything in place. And I'm going to put over on top of that the cardboard pieces again to sort of block off the edges. One last piece right here. And then our cardboard, or our plastic, our actual tarp, that goes over the cardboard. So there we go. And that's my update. So today was February 5th, and we will continue with these updates. I'll probably do it, every 2 weeks or so. I just did a large feeding in here, so it probably will take a little bit longer for them to break it down, although it is ground up very fine, so it might go quickly. But we'll give them a couple weeks here before we jump back in and see how they're doing. So if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Again, I do have links to purchase some of these items here. So if you're interested in buying them, please check the links down below. And thank you for watching.